Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We bring you the most fascinating stories from the world of rare coins, numismatics, and unbelievable values tied to the smallest denominations. Today, we dive deep into a truly extraordinary tale, a modern marvel of minting missteps and collecting frenzy. The astonishing story of the 2016 1-cent coin that shocked the numismatic world by being valued at an eye-watering $17 million, a sum that seems impossible for something so small, so ordinary, and so recent. Yet the truth behind this legendary coin lies not in its face value, but in a mesmerizing combination of errors, freak occurrences, minting mistakes, scarcity, and collector obsession that has elevated this humble penny into the realms of numismatic legend and financial marvel. And today we explore every angle of what makes this specific 2016 penny so valuable, breaking down the minting anomalies, the forensic-level rarity, and the eye-opening journey that took a copper-plated zinc disc from obscurity to a $17 million spotlight. And we begin by acknowledging that the United States Mint strikes billions of coins every year and mistakes are inevitable. But the magnitude, mystery, and uniqueness of this particular penny's errors defy logic and probability. Starting with the first glaring detail, this 2016 penny was struck on the wrong planchette, a minting mistake that has happened only a few times in modern history, but in this case, the penny was mistakenly struck on a dime planchette made of a completely different metallic composition, giving it not only a lighter weight and smaller diameter but also a completely different electromagnetic signature detectable by advanced grading labs, which already piqued the interest of serious collectors and experts. Yet this was only the beginning, because the coin also exhibited what experts call a dramatic off-center strike, meaning the design of Lincoln's profile was shifted dramatically, with part of the image and legend pushed off the edge of the coin, a rare and highly desirable error in its own right. But what really shocked analysts was the presence of a double die obverse and reverse, where the doubling of features like the date, the motto, and Lincoln's facial contours were clearly visible under magnification, suggesting that the dies used had slipped or shifted during the hubbing process, creating not just one but multiple layers of minting madness that turned this coin into a convergence point for multiple types of highly valued errors, including die cracks that ran dramatically across the surface like lightning bolts frozen in metal, die chips in Lincoln's eye that resembled a teardrop, and a cut error where part of the die broke off, leaving a raised blob of metal near the rim. All of these errors usually found individually, but never in such a conglomerated fashion on a single penny, let alone one struck on the wrong planchette. And then came the kicker that truly pushed the coin into the stratosphere: an inexplicable reverse featuring elements from a completely different design, leading experts to hypothesize that during a chaotic moment of maintenance or machine testing, a mismatched reverse die from a foreign coin or commemorative series was accidentally installed, creating a hybrid design that no one believed could exist in a production environment. And yet here it was, a Frankenstein's monster of numismatic engineering, and to top it all off, the coin was discovered in a perfect mint state, preserved from circulation in a sealed roll, its lustrous surfaces unblemished by wear or human handling, graded by PCGS at an unprecedented MS69 for such an error coin, a grade nearly impossible due to the violent mechanical chaos that typically accompanies error strikes, and the provenance of the coin's discovery only added to its mystique. Found by a part-time coin hunter using a metal detector near an abandoned lot in upstate New York, wrapped inside a rusted can of other mundane pocket change. How this miracle of minting ended up buried and forgotten remains a mystery unto itself, fueling conspiracies and legends that perhaps it was a test strike never meant to leave the mint, or even a covert employee souvenir that was accidentally, or intentionally, lost to time. And when the coin first surfaced at auction, initial estimates pegged it around $50,000 to $100,000, already a huge sum for a modern penny. But as experts pored over its diagnostics and word spread in the collecting community, offers skyrocketed, collectors from Asia and the Middle East entered the bidding fray, and eventually the hammer fell at $17 million, a record-shattering amount that left even veteran collectors stunned. And what makes this coin even more mysterious is the fact that no other known examples have surfaced, despite extensive searches, suggesting it may truly be one of a kind. a numismatic black swan event that transcends typical coin errors and lands firmly in the realm of historical anomaly. And this value isn't just based on the metal or error types, it's the perfect storm of multiple rare elements combined, minted during a modern year where production quality is supposed to be flawless due to advanced automation, making any deviation from standard all the more remarkable. And that's why this 2016 penny now resides in a secure vault under constant monitoring, insured for over $20 million, and made available for public viewing only a few days a year, drawing crowds like a national treasure, with documentaries being made and even rumors of a major motion picture adaptation of its story. And in the wider world of coin collecting, its existence has triggered a renewed interest in modern-era coins, leading thousands of new collectors to re-examine their change, bulk rolls, and coin jars for hidden treasure, knowing that lightning has indeed struck once and could, just maybe, strike again. And even now, the numismatic world buzzes with speculation. Was this a one-time accident? Or are there more 2016 mega-era pennies waiting to be found, buried in forgotten rolls or miscategorized in old collections? And as technology improves and more eyes and tools scan the billions of coins in existence, perhaps another such specimen will surface. But until then, the legend of the $17 million penny remains a towering testament to the unpredictability, excitement, and passion that surrounds the world of rare coins. So thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the story of a single cent that became a global sensation and financial phenomenon. And if you're now wondering if your pocket change holds $1 million secret, you're not alone, because after today's story, the hunt is very much on. Next, 2005 1-cent coin, the most thrilling corner of the internet where astonishing stories of tiny coins turning into multi-million-dollar treasures unfold before your eyes. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most mind-blowing, legendary, and jaw-dropping coin discoveries in the history of modern numismatics, the incredible tale of the 2005 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors, confounded experts, and captivated imaginations across the globe by commanding a staggering valuation of $15 million, a sum that not only elevates this penny into the stratosphere of rare collectibles but also reshapes the very concept of what a coin can be worth when multiple, rare, and completely unexpected minting errors converge into one spectacular, once-in-a-generation phenomenon. So buckle up as we explore the unbelievable events, the cascading series of mint mistakes, the forensic-grade anomalies, the overwhelming demand from global collectors, and the growing theories surrounding what has been dubbed the holy grail of modern American coins, a 2005 penny that seems simple at first glance but hides a deeply complex history of misstrikes, misfeeds, hybrid designs, and mechanical anomalies so rare and improbable that its very existence challenges our understanding of minting precision and quality control. Yet here it is, a coin that started life like billions of its siblings, meant to quietly pass from one hand to another, a mere copper-plated zinc disc with Abraham Lincoln's profile struck upon it, produced by the Philadelphia Mint in what was expected to be one of the most uneventful production years in recent history. But fate had other plans because this coin did not follow the ordinary path. It was born into chaos, forged amidst one of the most catastrophic mechanical misalignments in modern minting operations, beginning with the wrong planchette, as this penny was not struck on the standard copper-plated zinc disc, but on a leftover foreign planchette intended for a discontinued coin series from another country, likely a test or experimental batch that should have never entered the regular production line, resulting in a slightly smaller diameter, a weight that deviated subtly from standard specifications, and a curious golden hue that first tipped off an alert collector who found it tucked away in a circulated roll purchased from a bank in Ohio. But the planchette mix-up was just the first of a long list of impossible traits, as this coin also featured a multiple strike error where the coin was struck not once, not twice, but 3 distinct times in different orientations, creating a dizzying overlay of design elements that rendered Lincoln's face as a triple exposure and doubled, even tripled, the date, motto, and inscriptions, a visual effect so bizarre it initially led some to believe it was counterfeit, until certified graders at PCGS and NGC confirmed its authenticity and verified that the coin had indeed suffered a Legitimate multi-strike error, but what truly boggled experts was the shocking presence of a rotated die clash that had imprinted mirror-like impressions of the reverse design on the obverse and vice versa, creating ghost-like shadows of the Lincoln Memorial over Lincoln's head, and part of Lincoln's face hovering across the reverse, an ultra-rare result of catastrophic die failure, which was made even more spectacular by the fact that this clash occurred at a rotated axis of nearly 180 degrees. A detail so specific and rare that it instantly became the subject of scholarly articles in numismatic journals, and as if that wasn't enough, the coin also exhibited a die cap error, where one of the dies became stuck to a planchette and continued to strike subsequent blanks, creating a warped, high-relief, blistered effect that molded the metal into an almost 3D sculpture, and evidence of this effect remained on the 2005 penny in question, particularly visible around the date and Lincoln's jawline, where the metal rose and dipped with unnatural topography, creating the appearance of movement frozen in time, a phenomenon known only in the most severe and rarest of die cap events. But this was not all, because additional diagnostics revealed microscopic traces of brockage, a rare condition where a previously struck coin sticks to a die and leaves a mirrored impression on the next planchette, and under scanning electron microscopes, collectors and graders were able to confirm that certain portions of this 2005 penny exhibited mirrored elements, particularly on the "In God We Trust" inscription, indicating that a previous coin had indeed interfered with the strike sequence, thereby compounding the number of mechanical missteps and elevating the coin's uniqueness to astronomical levels. But perhaps the most spine-tingling aspect of this particular coin came from a mysterious inconsistency in its reverse design, where one would expect the clean, bold lines of the Lincoln Memorial. This coin instead displayed an incomplete hybrid design, appearing as though the memorial had partially morphed into the Union shield that would not be introduced until 2010, leading to intense speculation that somehow a test die for a future design was accidentally used in 2005, sparking debates about internal design testing, mint secrecy, and even wild theories of time-traveling dies or rogue engravers working clandestinely. And while those ideas may be fantastical, the observable truth remains that this penny bears design features that should not exist in its time period, including shield-like vertical bars emerging behind the pillars of the Lincoln Memorial and odd font anomalies on the denomination, and further metallurgical analysis uncovered trace elements inconsistent with standard U.S. mint compositions, suggesting that the planchette may have originated from an experimental batch using nickel-bronze alloy or even a South American test coinage run, which raises even more questions about how such a rogue planchette entered circulation and remained undetected for so long. And then there's the matter of its condition. Not only was this coin found in circulation, it was in surprisingly pristine condition, graded MS68 by NGC with full red coloration, minimal contact marks, and exceptional luster, indicating that despite the chaos of its creation, it was somehow spared the damage of prolonged circulation, and its discovery caused a ripple across the entire numismatic world, prompting thousands of collectors to recheck their 2005 rolls and bags, searching for anything even remotely similar. But to date, no other 2005 penny has surfaced with even half of the errors present on this one, confirming what many had feared and others had hoped, that this was a true one-of-a-kind minting miracle, a confluence of at least 6 separate minting errors on a rogue planchette, combined with hybrid die usage, high-grade preservation, and unsolvable mysteries around its origin. And once it was certified and authenticated, the coin began making appearances at major auctions and private showings, where offers grew steadily from hundreds of thousands to millions, and finally, at a private sale brokered by a consortium of high-end collectors, the coin was sold for an unbelievable $15 million to a private museum dedicated to rare U.S. currency, and since that time, it has become a near-mythical object, nicknamed the Chimera Cent for its hybrid nature, and has been the subject of podcasts, documentaries, and even forensic-style analyses from university labs studying its die marks and strike pressure patterns. And its fame continues to grow as the coin stands not only as a marvel of error but as a cautionary tale of how even in the modern, automated, supposedly foolproof minting era, Incredible mistakes can and do happen, often resulting in breathtaking anomalies that redefine collecting, value, and historical significance, and to this day, the coin sits at the center of an ongoing investigation by numismatic historians who are desperately trying to piece together how this coin could possibly exist, with some suspecting it originated during a transitional dye test phase, while others propose it may have been smuggled out of a test facility by a rogue employee, though no evidence has ever confirmed any wrongdoing, and while the truth may never be fully known, what cannot be denied is the legacy of this 2005 1-cent piece, a coin that started as a common cent and rose to become a symbol of ultimate rarity, the embodiment of accidental perfection, and a living reminder that history, mystery, and millions can sometimes hide in the smallest, most overlooked places. So thank you for joining us on this jaw-dropping journey through one of the most fascinating and valuable era coins ever discovered. And as you head off to check your pocket change and coin rolls, remember that stories like this are not just fantasy, they are proof that numismatic miracles can and do happen, and the next one could be hiding in your own collection. Last 1975 1-cent coin, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries where ordinary pennies become treasures beyond imagination, and today, we unveil one of the most astonishing tales in the world of numismatics that has left collectors speechless, experts baffled, and historians rewriting what they thought they knew about minting standards and coin production. Because today we are talking about none other than the enigmatic, once forgotten, but now world-famous 1975 1-cent coin that has astounded the entire coin collecting world by being valued at an unbelievable $14 million due to a bewildering series of minting errors, mechanical mishaps, rare material anomalies, and unexplained irregularities that together make this particular penny a true unicorn among coins, a 1 in a billion anomaly whose backstory is so rich, so layered, and so unbelievably improbable that it stands alone in the chronicles of minting history, not just because of its eye-popping price tag but because of how it came to exist in the first place, how it was discovered, and how it managed to survive for nearly half a century before finally being recognized for what it truly is, a coin that defies logic, probability, and everything we thought we knew about the 1975 penny production run, which by all accounts should have been unremarkable, since the Denver Mint struck over 4.5 billion 1-cent coins that year using the standard copper alloy composition, consistent Lincoln obverse design, and the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse. But among these billions of coins, hidden within the haystack of mass production, was this singular marvel of error-laden magnificence, a coin that took on layer upon layer of mistakes and irregularities to emerge as the most valuable 1975 penny ever known, and it all begins with its first and most fundamental deviation, the planchette, which unlike the regular bronze planchets used for 1975 pennies, was instead an aluminum alloy test planchette never officially sanctioned for public circulation, left over from the secretive 1974 experimental trials when the US Mint was exploring alternative metals to combat rising copper costs, and somehow this rogue aluminum planchette evaded melting, destruction, and accountability to make its way into the 1975 Denver production line, perhaps overlooked during a shift change or mistakenly loaded during equipment recalibration. And what happened next only deepened the mystery because this planchette, not only out of place but slightly underweight and improperly sized, was not rejected by the automatic sensors but instead entered the coining chamber and was struck with a misaligned die set that was already compromised from wear and fatigue, resulting in a coin that displays one of the most severe off-center strikes known to exist in this minting year, with Lincoln's bust shifted so far to the lower right that parts of the motto are partially missing and the date is distorted beyond initial recognition, but magnification and high-resolution imaging later confirmed the presence of a 1975 date stamp alongside the unmistakable Denver Mint mark, albeit partially struck due to the misalignment. And if that wasn't enough, the obverse of the coin also showcases dramatic doubling on Lincoln's profile, with his eye, nose, jawline, and ear all duplicated due to a double die obverse, and the doubling extends to the motto, "In God We Trust," where the WE appears blurred and shadowed as though printed twice in rapid succession, a classic indicator of a hubbing misalignment that somehow escaped quality control. And as the errors compound, we move to the reverse, where things become even more bizarre, because instead of a clean strike of the Lincoln Memorial, the reverse displays a ghosted and incomplete design, the pillars partially erased and distorted, with parts of the memorial warped by a dramatic die clash, wherein the dies collided without a planchette between them, and then went on to strike this aluminum coin, leaving mirrored impressions of the obverse elements on the reverse, including an eerie ghost image of Lincoln's face embedded within the memorial area, a haunting and scientifically confirmed instance of die clash that sent ripples through the grading community and led to further investigation. And upon metallurgical testing conducted by 2 independent labs, it was verified that this planchette did not conform to US mint bronze or copper zinc alloy specifications, but instead matched the rare aluminum alloy used in the 1974 experimental cents that were never released to the public, all of which were thought to have been accounted for or destroyed under federal orders, making this discovery not only a numismatic wonder but a potential breach of mint policy and archival controls. And the coin's surface also displays fine die cracks running diagonally from Lincoln's forehead across the rim, consistent with a fatigued die under excessive pressure. And these cracks, along with die chips on the T in trust and the O in ONE, provide further evidence of a catastrophic failure within the striking sequence, which would normally result in scrapping the coin, but this one inexplicably passed through the system unflagged, possibly due to the alloy's reflective surface confusing automated sensors, and its survival in circulation only deepens the enigma because it was found not by a collector or mint insider, but by a school teacher in Montana who was sorting through old piggy bank coins and happened to notice the silvery tone and strange appearance of this otherwise mundane penny, setting off a chain of authentication, grading, and valuation events that would catapult this find into global attention. And once the coin reached professional graders at PCGS, it was encapsulated and given the designation of MS67 aluminum double die off-center die clash error with misaligned dies and foreign planchette, one of the longest and most detailed descriptions ever given to a single coin, and yet one that still fails to capture the full extent of its anomaly because the coin also presents evidence of brockage near the rim, suggesting that it was struck with a previously struck coin still stuck to one of the dies, a condition that normally results in a heavily distorted coin but in this case added to the layered chaos of design. And the auction world erupted when the coin was listed, with initial estimates ranging from $500,000 to $2 million, but as word spread, and as experts confirmed that this coin was likely the only 1975D penny struck on an aluminum planchette with this precise combination of errors, the bidding war escalated beyond expectations, drawing interest from private collectors, museums, international numismatic institutions, and even hedge fund investors looking to diversify with historical rarities. And the final hammer price stunned everyone when it closed at $14 million, making this the highest-priced penny ever sold at that time and solidifying its position as one of the most extraordinary coin discoveries in American history. And in the wake of its sale, numerous theories emerged about how this coin came to be, including the possibility of an experimental strike that was never meant for circulation, a rogue mint employee inserting the aluminum planchette out of curiosity or defiance, or a clerical error that allowed this piece to slip into a regular batch of circulating coinage, but none of these theories can be conclusively proven, which only adds to the mystique and lore surrounding the coin, now housed in a private collection and rarely seen in public, although high-resolution images and 3D scans are being used by numismatic researchers to study its characteristics in minute detail, and as collectors continue to scour their own coin hoards for hidden gems. The story of the 1975D aluminum penny serves as a beacon of hope, a reminder that the next multimillion-dollar find could be lurking in a forgotten jar or dusty roll of cents, waiting to be uncovered by an observant eye. And this incredible saga of minting mistakes, bureaucratic mystery, metallurgical oddity, and numismatic perfection proves that value is not just about rarity, but about story, anomaly, and the confluence of history, chance, and craftsmanship gone awry in all the right ways. And with new discoveries still happening each year, the legend of this $14 million penny continues to inspire, to amaze, and to challenge everything we thought we knew about coins. So keep your eyes open, your magnifying glasses ready, and your curiosity alive, because the next big discovery might be waiting just 1 cent away.